Today I want to speak to you about hybrid coverage and how to essentially do photo and video as one person. Welcome back to my podcast. My name is Sam. I'm a wedding photographer and videographer in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And I started this podcast for those who are just entering the industry and need some direction. And so today I want to speak to you about my workflow as to how I go about, doing hybrid coverage as one person. And it all begins essentially with the type of camera that ones should buy. And there are endless options right now on the market, but the one that I found appropriate for my style of shooting was the Fujifilm X-T4. So that's a mirrorless digital camera that does excellent photos. It's a 24 megapixel camera, and then it shoots 4K as well. And it has a stills and movie button, so you can seamlessly transition between photo and film. And that's the camera I selected for this particular job. The colors that come out of it is unbelievable. Now, mind you, you can't do photo and video at the same time, so you sort of have to pick your moments when you're about to, go from photo and video. And so, as you will know, there are some critical times that you need both photo and video, and I'll let you know how exactly I do it. But I generally let my client know as they're booking with me that when they're going with my standard package, that 70% of my coverage will be focusing on photo, and then I'll be capturing video in the between moments with that mirrorless camera. Now, mind you, there are some times that you absolutely need to have both, and the way I essentially able to do both at the same time is with the help of a GoPro. So I own a GoPro Hero 9 that's mounted on my X-T4 with the help of a small rig cage. And so by mounting that extra camera on top of my mirrorless camera, I can actually do both. Now, that's not an ideal situation, I'll be honest with you, because GoPro, considering that they are very small action cameras, they don't necessarily have the best video quality, but they do an excellent job at stabilizing image. But when it comes to night videography, there's definitely a lot of room to improve. They'll do the job, so you can kind of use those footage as cutaway moments, especially when you want to have those key shots. But GoPro is really limited to daytime shooting if you must. Mind you, my clients have never complained about the image quality. Maybe I'm a pixel peeper, and I'm used to seeing. I know what quality footage look like, but to our clients, maybe they don't necessarily. They're not as critical as one of themselves like I am. So to me, ideally, I would like GoPro to really improve on their image quality if they could. But right now, in terms of what they are putting out there, especially evening shooting and low light situation, the GoPro isn't ideal, but at least you have that footage when you absolutely must. So that's item number 2. The third thing I use are monopods and tripods. So I own multiple mirrorless cameras, all right, then multiple lens. So I'll typically have a monopod, and the monopod that I use is the Sirius S24. I think that's the name, the model number. And I may have that monopod right next to me, and so as I'm doing video, I can do photo as well with my second camera, and I'm able to do both. Mind you, it's not an ideal strategy because a monopod, especially the Sirius, is very stable, but it is still a monopod, and with a heavy camera and lens on top of it, you may not want to leave it alone on a dance floor. Essentially, someone can easily knock it down, and so it's not really a great situation. But for those moments where everybody's sitting down and your couples aren't moving, and maybe it's a ceremony, so it's a stationary subject, then the monopod comes in very, very handy. I usually love to use the monopod to stabilize my image and get rid of shaky footage. But the monopod is excellent for that. A tripod is also another thing that I use to essentially have both photo and video. So a tripod is much more stable. You can leave your camera and not worry about it, dropping on the floor, people running into it. because it's very hard to knock down. The only downside of using a tripod is that they take a lot of room, and so you can't really leave it, say, in a tight space like a church, walkway, because you're gonna block, movement, if you will. So although they serve their purpose, they are also a limiting factor. Now, you can obviously hire a second shooter, and so that would be, the ideal way to do both. However, again, as it's obvious that you will essentially, it will be an added expense, unfortunately. But that would be the ideal way to, provide hybrid coverage. Now, you could structure your pricing to include a second shooter, so that way you don't have to worry about doing both at the same time, and your client will be really happy. But again, that eats through your profit margin. So for the 2023 wedding season, I'm looking to add another camera to my kit, simply because Fujifilm released a hybrid centric camera, which is the Fujifilm X-H2S, that has a much faster buffer speed, so there is less of a lag time between photo and video. So sometimes if you take a lot of images and you switch to still mode or video mode or movie mode, I guess, there may be a bit of a delay, so that can slow down your workflow and you might miss moments. But they've really improved with that buffer speed. On top of that, they've really improved with the autofocus, and so the cameras from yesteryears suffered a little bit about being able to track subjects better. They do have a bit of a breathing issue, but nothing that you can't correct in post-production. However, the X-H2S is really made specifically for people like myself who need to do both images and videography. So I'll be looking to add that in the next few months, and so that's essentially how you could go about providing hybrid coverage. If you like this kind of content, hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll be happy to provide you with more tips and tricks in the industry. All right, take care.